Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome. So as usual, wherever there's demand, I'm here to offer, and I have seen a lot of comments from you guys just asking to see specifically the exact skills that every individual new hero or a lord has in the campaign map. And this is what we're gonna do here. First of all, we're gonna go through the faction effects and all that grand effects in general, and then we're gonna get in for all three new lords and just see every upgrade and skill on the skill tree. Alright, so the race attributes for Wolfheart's mini faction, mini empire faction is the Emperor's Mandate, receive the Emperor's acclaim by advancing the Empire's cause in Lastria, leading to the provision of better quality units to reinforce the expedition. Wolfheart's Hunters attain the services of some of the finest hunters to have ever lived, which are 4 included. We'll see them as soon as we get in the campaign map, and well-rounded unit roster with a wide range of magical lores and war machines, which is the standard of the Empire. So for the faction effect, we have a limited roster, only basic units are immediately recruitable. If you guys remember Spain from Medieval 2 expansion, which one was it? The Americas. Where you slowly but steadily had new units coming in to help you and also upgrades. I'm getting the vibe from that, and yeah, it's really great. It brings back a lot of memories. So the next one is reinforcements from the Empire bring powerful units to bolster your armies. Of course, hostile actions will result in retaliation from local factions, but will also empower your own armies. Recruit rank +3 for Huntsman generals. Diplomatic relations -40 with the Lisdonman. That makes sense. So the effects of Wolfheart, he's got a very high chance of ambush, so you really want to play around that. He's gonna be freaking great, because I think the standard for every lord is like 25%, and depending on the terrain it goes even higher, so you're probably gonna get like 100% chance of ambush every single time. That was defense chance, and ambush success chance 50%. Does he get like the same utility like the Skaven get? This is when you're defend. This is to defend against ambushes. Okay, sorry. That is to defend against ambushes. This is to perform an ambush. And upkeep -50% for archers and huntsmen units, as we can see here, the huntsmen and the archers. Alright, we shall get straight in. Alright, and here we are. I also recruited the Huntsman General, so you know, the generic lord, so we can see what is the difference between him and Wolfheart. So that's gonna be fun. Let's just place him inside the city. So for Wolfheart, first things first, we got the standard route marcher, we got the Iron Disciplinarian, +1 public order level 1, +2 and +3 to level 3, leader of renown, recruitment costs reduced up to -50% on level 3, reassuring presence -15% casualties suffered from all attrition in the army. We also got the fervent +3 on level 3 of untainted in the local province. Irrepressible, oh, I don't know that word, which offers casualty replenishment +30% for the lord, and also recovery time if he gets wounded, -1. We get the lightning strike, the quartermaster, -15% upkeep for all units up to level 3, starting on -3. We got the logistician, excuse me, casualty replenishment +3, +8 and +15 on level 3. Alert, ambush, defense chance, and also chance of intercepting an enemy army using the underway, beast paths or world routes, +10%. And this is pretty much it for this line. We also got recruit rank +2 for all units and local recruitment capacity for the headhunter. So up here, let's see what kind of units can Wolfheart buff. Characters or a leadership +5. We got melee defense for spearmen, swordsmen, flagellants and halberdiers as usual, +8 and melee attack and +8 melee defense. We got the speed of the horse for Empire Knights, Reichsguard and Knights of the Blazing Sun. This is pretty much standard so far. +12 on level 3. Pistol Corps. We got missile damage +6% for Free Company Militia, Crossbowmen, Huntsmen, Archers, Handgunners, Pistoliers and Outriders. On the next one we get plus 10% ammunition, plus 9%, and plus 20% ammunition, and plus 20%, plus 12% missile damage. On a steel, plus 12% for great swords and demigryph knights. We get the mighty forge, ward save 7% for war wagon, steam tank, and luminarch of his units, and it goes up to 15% with a reload time reduction of plus 10%. Imperial gunnery, plus 6% mortar, great cannon, hellblaster, volley gun, and helmstorm rocket battery missile damage, up to 20% ammunition and plus 12% missile damage, the usual old rally ability. Strength of hardship, leadership plus 5 for spearmen, swordsmen, flagellants, huntsmen, and empire units, above rank 7, plus 5 melee defense, and plus 15% magic resistance. The sharpshooter, which provides missile resistance plus 15% for free company militia, crossbowmen, huntsmen, archers, handgunners, pistoliers, and outriders, also 12% missile damage and 10% reload time reduction. Taste for battle, we get 15% physical resistance for greatswords, halberdiers, Reichsguard, Knights of the Blazing Sun, and demigryph units, and plus 5 melee attack and plus 5 melee defense. And artillery master, reload time reduction plus 10%, plus 12% missile damage, and plus 20% ammunition for mortars, great cannons, hellblasters, helmstorms, war wagons, luminarch of his, and steam tank units. And stand your ground. So up here, hard to hit, plus 5 melee defense. We got the devastating charge, although I don't think Wolfheart is gonna be in need of that, up to plus 30. Full plate armor, plus 15. We got the scarred veteran over here with plus 7 and plus 15% hit points. Deadly blade up to plus 12. Hunter's snare, which I think is an immobilization spell. Let me just see. Yeah, cannot move. So this is, you pin them down for 11 seconds and you just see them melt with Wolfheart. We got the Woundmaker, weapon strength plus 20%, Blademaster up to plus 12, starting on 6. Indomitable, plus 12 also leadership, Blade Shield of 6 and plus 12 melee defense, and Hunter Strap is... what's the difference here? That has 3 uses, that has 3 uses as well. Oh, it's 22 seconds. It's 22 seconds. The range seems to be the same. So yeah, the only difference is the seconds, which it's double, so it can make a difference. Alright, the cool unique stuff up here. Cooldown minus 25% to focused shot, which I believe is this one, which is like a powerful projectile attack. 3 uses, as we can see, causes moderate magical damage, good against large combatants and armor, so that's gonna be a really painful ability to deal with. Plus 6% reload time reduction and plus 12 for seasoned marksman. Destroy the heart, missile damage up to 15%, and having already 556, it's gonna get really strong. Locked and loaded, plus 4 and 4 ammunition and speed percent, and up to 12%. These skills are only for the Lord, it's not about the army, just in case you're wondering. Sure and True, which is an ability which for how many seconds? Oh, it's constant and affects allies in range within 40 meters. The Wolfheart provides plus 5 reload skill, plus 5% missile damage, and plus 5% armor piercing missile damage. That is a nice skill to have. And Executioner, which seems to be an ability which replaces focused shot. It probably just does more damage, I guess. How many uses of that? 3 and 3. Yeah, it's the same, it's probably just more powerful. Alright, next one. Best of the best. Plus 2 for rank for all units. Impervious to attack. Plus 10 melee defense and plus 10% missile resistance from level 10 and up. Master Survivalist, campaign movement rates plus 5%, campaign line of sight plus 10%, and casualty replenishment plus 10% for the Lord's army. Irregular Elite, also above level 10, upkeep minus 50% for Huntsman and Archer units, melee attack plus 8 for Huntsman units, and missile damage plus 10% for Huntsman and Archer units. So why do the archers do not have the melee attack bonus? Anyway, also a great skill to have, mostly for the upkeep, to be rather honest. We got the Slay of Hand, double shot ammunition, extra projectiles for Huntsman units, and plus 8% reload time reduction. How many extra projectiles? It doesn't say, but I guess instead of just a normal shot they should double. So pretty much like the double ammunition, although it's gonna be of the same time, just double the damage. Yeah, I'm getting the vibe, something like that. Telescopic Aim plus 12% range and enables sundering attacks. In case you're wondering what sunder does, it reduces armor. So I think the sunder effect reduces armor by 30, unless it's a unique one. Let me... Well, I can't see it, but I'm suspecting it's minus 30. Alright, Grant Hans Marshal attribute, Vanguard deployment for the whole army, excellent, and immune to psychology for the whole army. Oh my god, this is damn OP. And we go over to the unique quest item, which you can get from level 8, so I suspect it's gonna be rather easy to get it, relatively. Plus 20% missile damage, enables magical attacks and ability Amber Bow, which Amber Bow seems to do a lot of damage at long range, good from a high angle, good against large combatants, and strong vs a single combatant. So I'm already fearing this this shot over here. That's gonna be doing a lot of damage, especially with the plus 20 missile damage. I suspect he's gonna reach up to 800 missile damage with all these buffs you can get from here. Leadership aura size plus 25%. We got the hold the line. Oh, so it was moved up here. I think it was somewhere down here. Plus 5 melee defense and plus 4 leadership in an area effect around 40 meters of you. And Sigmar's ward plus 10% missile resistance. And that seems to be everything about Wolfheart. He also got fleet-footed for himself, and active only if there's a presence within range of 70 meters. So that's great. Stock, he can fire while moving, immune to psychology already, Vanguard deployment, encourage, resilience, and the missile resistance. So let's check real quick if it's the same. These ones seem to be exactly the same. Alert, yeah. Let me check these ones. I don't see any difference. Yeah, it seems to be exactly the same. Yes, he's got Hail of Fire instead of that ability that Wolfheart has, which imbues with fire damage and plus 30 reload skill for 22 seconds and affects allies in range, within range. Weapon strength, melee attack, leadership and melee defense, and Funnel of Flame, which probably upgrades the previous ability, which is now for 33 seconds, plus 10, plus 11. And it does exactly the same thing, it's just more seconds. Arrow of Axi, or something like that. Cooldown minus 25% to that ability, which I suspect is this one. Causes fire damage, powerful explosion, strong vs multiple combatants, but it's weak against armor, and 3 uses only. We got reload time reduction here, missile damage, the same speed and ammunition, reload missile and armor piercing, and that's also unique. Causes fire damage, powerful explosion, strong vs multiple units, which is I guess, yeah, it replaces this one. It makes it even more powerful, and from 200 meters, oh, it's the same, 200 meters both. And up here the unique ones, bonus versus lards +8 for spearmen and halberdiers for the whole army, and bonus versus infantry for greatswords +8. That's a great skill to have. Experienced hunter +12% range for huntsmen and archers. We got the campaign movement range, line of sight and casualty replenishment +5%. Brass lunged +25% leadership aura, melee defense and leadership seems to be the same, and just the immortality as a unique one. So let me see if I have forgotten about anything here. We got the oil flask, applies +50% flame weakness and -48% speed on contact. That is great. It's gonna come in handy with the fire damage that comes in from these two abilities. We also got stock, firewall moving, vanguard, encourage, resilience and missile resistance. Alright, and they come in with 45 armor, 72 leadership, 36 speed, 43 melee attack, 40 melee defense, 360 weapon strength. How much of it is armor piercing? Just 90. And 270 is standard weapon strength, charge bonus of 30. Well, if you get this one, you can get up to 60. That is crazy. For a hunter, for an archer unit. Ammunition, 45 shots, 180 minimum range. It can be upgraded through all these skills over here. And missile damage, 240 standard, 160 armor piercing, and 100 bonus versus large. That's crazy. It's not a lot of armor piercing. I think Wolfheart has a lot more. We're gonna check him over as well. Yeah, he has a lot more armor piercing. So 50 armor, 75 leadership, 36 speed, 58 melee attack, 52 melee defense, which actually he can fight really good on melee. He lacks, the only thing he lacks is weapon strength. So 270 standard and 90 armor piercing, charge bonus of 30, ammunition of 45, range of 180, and 556 missile damage, 120 being standard, 280 being armor piercing, and 120 bonuses versus large. That's crazy. Yeah, so that is it about Wolfheart and the generic lord. So let's go over to Nakai. Alright, as of Nakai, the race attribute seems to be a little bit different. Jungle Nexus, shared recruitment access using the primary horde as a focal point from which to recruit via the global pool. Spawnings of the ancients restricted from settlement capture. Ownership can instead be transferred to the defenders of the Great Plan faction for notable units. If you have played the last Roman DLC in Attila, it's pretty much how Belisarius worked, which captured settlements and gave them off to the Empire. Although in that DLC you were able to just secede from the Byzantine Empire and just keep it to yourself. That cannot happen here. You only give it to the ancients here, as it says, the old ones. Beasts are suitable for every task, though some are so ferocious they may lose control and charge ahead. The standard one. Faction effects. Nakai's horde unlocks units with other hordes using global recruitment to get access to them. Nakai's vassals occupy the settlements conquered. More settlements controlled come with increasing rewards. Recruit rank +3 for Croxigor ancients, excuse me. That's all global effects, so we go to the Lord ones. Melee defense +5 for Croxigor and Sacred Croxigors, and recruitment cost -10% for Croxigors and Sacred Croxigors. You start off with some Sacred and normal Croxigors. The challenge is normal. On Wolfheart it was hard, so that tells which campaign is the hardest one. Alright guys, and let's check Nakai over here. Obviously I had to wait 8 turns in order to unlock the second army, because it can be unlocked via surpluses. I also got attacked, but it's fine. He got to level 2, so a few of these stats might not be accurate, if I'm correct. Although I don't think by leveling up you gain your stats increase. You only get skill points to spend, so don't mind that. Alright, so for Nakai, I'm not gonna be showing off these how the temples and all that kind of stuff work. I'm here just to show you the skill tree. The other stuff can be found via other YouTubers. I'm pretty sure everybody has done a video about it already. So we get the Root Marcher plus 10% movement range. We get the Spawned Ovitsa, which provides plus 5 Horde growth in level 3, plus 1, plus 3, plus 5. So I suggest you go for it. Growth is really good for Horde armies. We get the Fervent, plus 3 maximum Untainted, Bonded Service, plus minus 50% recruitment cost. Ancient Cunning, plus 30% Amos success chance. We get the Draftmaster, Horde recruitment capacity plus 1 and recruit rank plus 1 for all units. We got the good old Lightning Strike, the Geomanting Sustenance, minus 15% upkeep for all units up to level 3. We get Wary, enemy hero action success chance minus 3%, minus 8 and minus 15, and also ambush defense chance plus 8, plus 16 and plus 30. Gifts of the Jungle, plus 5, 10 and 15% on level 3, casualty replenishment, and the Renowned and Feared, which is minus 8% upkeep for all units, campaign movement range plus 5, enemy hero action success chance minus 10%, hero self-defense plus 25% chance of wounding aggressors, and recruit rank for all units plus 1. We got the Inspiring Presence, plus 5 leadership effect, plus 4 melee attack for source units, and level 3 plus 8 and melee attack and plus 6 armor. We get the Skirmisher, which goes for missile damage for salamanders and Razor Dawn hunting pack units, for skinks, chameleon skink units, and pretty much whatever you can see over here. So plus on level 3 plus 12% missile damage, plus 12% weapon strength, and plus 8 melee defense for all these units. Alright, Swift Rider, we got on level 3 plus 12% weapon strength for Pterodons, Reaperdactyls and Cold One units, plus 10% speed also, and plus 12% missile damage. For the Sacred Guardian, melee attack plus 8 for Croxigors, Sacred Croxigors and Temple Guards, plus 8 melee defense as well. Hunt Leader, well, okay, here it is. We get plus 8 melee attack for Carnosaur and Dreaded Saurians, and also plus 12% weapon strength for Feral Carnosaur and Dread Saurian units. That only applies for the normal, for the standard weapon strength, okay? It's not the armor piercing one, just so you know. Beast Driver, I think these are pretty much the same. Weapon strength plus 12% for Stegadon, Ancient Salamander and Bastiladon units, plus 8 melee defense and plus 12% missile damage. We get the good old rally ability, plus 16 leadership, Jungle Domination, weapon strength, armor and magic resistance of 12%, plus 10 and 15% for sources and Temple Guards units. Spawnkin, missile resistance of 15%, plus 5 melee defense and plus 5 leadership for skinks, chameleon skinks, red crested skinks, salamanders, Razor Dawn hunting packs, Croxigors and Sacred Croxigor units. Soulbound, plus 5 melee attack, plus 5 melee defense and plus 15 missile resistance for Cold One Pterodon riders and Reaperdactyl riders. Yeah. Epicentrist or Epicentrist, plus 10 armor, plus 12 charge bonus and plus 5 leadership for Ancient Salamanders, Bastiladons, Stegadons, Feral Carnosaurs and Dreaded Saurian units above level 5. All these 4 mentioned skills over here. Stand Your Ground, which replaces the Rally, plus 27 melee defense and plus 16 leadership. It's a great ability, by the way. Don't look down on it. It can really make a difference if you go for an Alpha Strike. Predatory Fighter, plus 5 charge bonus and plus 5% weapon strength. We get plus 5% weapon strength and also plus 10% when fighting against Greenskin tribes, Skaven, Dark Elves, Beastmen, Chaos and Norska. Thick-skinned, plus 15 armor, Wild Eye, plus 9 melee attack, Devastating Charge, plus 30 charge bonus, Miasma of Despair, which seems to be an AoE ability for 16 seconds duration around himself and with a 40-meter range of minus 8 leadership, minus 24% speed and minus 9% vigor. This is going to be great when dealing with cavalry and any other fast units. We got another weapon strength upgrade for 20%, Scarred Veteran up to 15% more hit points. We got the Impassioned plus 12 melee defense, Expeditious Endeavor, which increases up to 15% speed, and Aura of Inertia, which replaces obviously this one, which does the exact same thing, although it lasts 24 seconds, and all the rest seem to be the same. Legendary Warrior plus 20% aura size and leadership effect plus 5. We got the Demon Crusher with plus 10 charge bonus and plus 10% weapon strength. Cold-blooded reflexes, attacks cause discouraged effect, reducing leadership, and also cause terror. So discouraged effect, if I remember correctly, reduces leadership by 10 or 9 or something like that, and on top of that you get terror. And how terror works, I think if I'm correct, when you drop to a standard threshold, I think it's like 14 leadership. If you have terror, then from 14 it's immediately terror routed. You don't have to drop to 0 in order to retreat. That's what terror does. Like it has a higher cap on when the unit retreats. First spawning, speed plus 10% for the Lord's Army. That's freaking great, because the lizardmen are really slow. Ability Frenzy for Kroxigor and Sacred Kroxigor units. Also we got Adornments, plus 5% casualty replenishment, and Horde Growth plus 3 for the Lord's Army. The Sacred Wanderer, which provides Unbreakable attribute, only for Nakai, that is. And let's go to the unique ones. So he's got 2 quest items. One is the Golden Tributes, which provides plus 5 melee defense, plus 5% ward save, and the passive ability of Golden Tributes, which is a constant ability around himself and affects allies in range of 30 meters with perfect vigor. That's a really good ability. And also the Ogam Sard, which provides 25% magic resistance, casualty replenishment of 5% more, and Untainted of plus 3. That's pretty damn great. 25% magic resistance is a lot. And for example, Wolfheart, if he has magic attacks, which probably he will in the campaign, that's gonna be great against him. Leadership aura size plus 50% and leadership effect plus 5, so pretty much a lot of upgrades about the leadership aura size. So the whole army, if you get into a battle with Nakai, is gonna get the encourage effect. Hit points plus 10% and protection of the old ones plus 10% more magic resistance. So let's see what is wait. You gotta check the stats. 120 armor, leadership of 82, probably 80. There's a buff right now taking effect. Speed of 50. I just hit this one over here, which reduces melee defense minus 7 and upgrades the melee attack plus 7. So bear in mind that it's a lot less. It's actually 62, and this one is 40. Weapon strength of 520, 140 is standard one, and 380 is armor piercing. That is great. And charge bonus of 24, which can obviously be increased a lot more. But it's really funny he has only 24 and Wolfheart has 30 by default. Yeah, but then again he has a lot more weapon strength because the charge bonus works as an extra melee attack modifier and also to the weapon strength when you attack. It's not that you bust on the enemy and you just cause damage by throwing him away. Well, that actually does a little bit, but it doesn't work like that. And the unique abilities over here, the Primal Roar, which affects allies in range of 30 meters, plus 20%, 22% physical resistance and 44 melee attack, but causes rampage. And it lasts 17 seconds. We got the Cold-Blooded, Hide and Courage, causes fear already, and you can go for terror. Siege Attacker and Missile Resistance. The Siege Attacker is great for the campaign, just so you know. Although you are the Lizardman, you're gonna have to you will have a big dino no matter what. Alright, let's check the standard one. From what I see over here, it seems to be exactly the same. I see the same names. Yeah, I think the only difference is gonna be the Forsaker here and the Deadly Onslaught. All other seems to be the same, and here comes the differences. So we get Obdurate Till Death, which is an ability, a constant ability around himself of 40 meters and affects allies in range of +5 melee defense and +5 missile resistance. Reptilian Instincts plus 15 charge bonus and 10% weapon strength. Just for him, this is not a Lord's effect, a Lord's army effect. We get a bonus versus large of 10 and also causing terror. Mid shield plus 10% for Kroxigor and Sacred Kroxigor units. That's actually a funny name. And dealer in death, weapon strength of 10% for Kroxigors and Sacred Kroxigor units, and 8 melee attack as well. Obedience brings victory, the same as standard Nakai, plus 10% hit points and magic resistance of 10%. And he's got also 120 armor, 70 leadership, 46 speed, 49 melee attack and 32 melee defense, along with an armor piercing weapon strength of 140 standard weapon damage and 320 armor piercing, and a bonus versus large of 25 with 24 charge bonus. Unique abilities, we have Monstrous Strength, which only applies to himself for 35 seconds, armor piercing, weapon damage of 20% each, and plus 16 bonus versus infantry. Cold-blooded, hide and courage causes fear, resilience, siege attacker also, and missile resistance of 15% by default. Have I forgotten about anything? I don't think I have. These are all the skills. There's the buildings here, and let's go to the next one. Okay, and now for Gor-rok. We got the standard race attributes for all lizardmen. It's only Nakai that is unique. The faction effects are start the campaign with control of Lord Krok, and trust me, it makes a huge difference, especially against early Skaven, which all they have is big numbers. All you have to do is just force them to blow up. If you even have to create a box, a perfect geometry box, a perfect square, just do it and you won't be disappointed with the damage output of Krok. Rite of Resilience, Unbreakable, and defense bonuses for Saurus. I think it's plus 10 melee defense, so that is a great rite to have, because Gor-rok seems to be centered around Sauruses, so it's gonna be having a great utility with all the other upgrades and buffs, and reduction in cost and such. Recruit rank plus 3 for Saurus Scar veterans, and upkeep minus 20% for Saurus units. That is a global effect. So here to the Lord effects, plus 5 melee defense when in own or friendly territory, and physical resistance of 20% when defending in sieges. That goes for the whole army. And that is it. Let's get right into the skill trees. Alright guys, and last but not least, Gor-rok himself. There's no unique generic lord over here to go through, so we'll just check up on him. He also got the root marcher of 10%, Iron Disciplinarian, Fervent, Bonded Service, Ancient Cunning, Draftmaster, Lightning Strike, Geomantic Sustenance, Wary, Gifts of the Jungle, and Renowned and Feared. Inspiring Presence as well, the same upgrades. Let me just, if you want to see them, just feel free to pause. So I'm gonna be doing this, but from what I can tell, it's exactly the same as it was before. Nothing changed in the red skill line. Got the Rally, Jungle Domination, Spawnkin, Soulbound, Epicentrist, and Stand Your Ground. We get also plus 5 charge bonus, weapon strength. These are unique, I think. Yep. Enforcer of Order, plus 2% weapon strength and plus 10% when fighting against Skaven. Thick-skinned, plus 15 armor and also plus 7 on level 1. Blademaster, plus 12 melee attack. Indomitable, plus 12 leadership. Force-seeker. Woundmaker, plus 20% weapon strength. Hit points, plus 15%. Blade Shield, plus 12. Expeditious Endeavor, plus 15% speed and Deadly Onslaught. And up here, this is the unique stuff with Goro-rok. He can get all of the blessings, he can unlock them all, not just going for one. So we get the blessing of Chotek with plus 10% hit points, construction time -1 for province capital settlement buildings, and it actually makes a huge difference. It's a really great skill to have. Income from settlement buildings plus 2% for all regions. Blessing of Quetzel, plus 10 armor. Upkeep -20% for Soros infantry and temple guard units. That these are all Lord's armies effects against except this one. We get the blessing of Teapot. All these skills you can get them above level 10, as you can read and see. Winds of Magic Power Reserve plus 5, Magic Resistance plus 5% for the whole army, and plus 5% speed for the whole army. Blessing of Huanchi, character's aura leadership effect plus 5, ambush success chance plus 20% for the Lord's army, income from post-battle loot plus 20%. This is the last one is a really great skill to have. Blessing of Tlathcotl, something like that. Public order plus 5 for the local province, casualty replenishment plus 10% for the whole army, and untainted plus 3 for the local province. And blessing of Quetzel is plus 10 leadership during ambushes, plus 5 leadership for Stegadon, Bastiladons, Pterodons, Reaperdactyls, Carnosaur and Dreaded Saurian units, and upkeep of -20% for all the aforementioned ones, and also Razordon hunting packs, Cold Ones, Salamanders, Stegadons, Bastiladons, Carnosaurs, Dreaded Saurians and all that, along with, yeah, Pterodon Riders and Reaperdactyls. Alright, Unrelenting Assault, physical resistance of 5% and attribute Perfect Vigor, so he can never get tired or anything like that, he will always remain fresh. We get Impassable Defenses, plus 10 missile melee defense and plus 15% magic resistance. We got the Protector of Lastria, physical resistance of 10% for Soros units in Lord's army and plus 10 melee defense for Soros and Temple Guard units. Unflinching, which is an ability that replaces to the death. Where was that ability? Oh, it's this one. No. It's this one. To the death, provides plus 4 leadership and plus 8 melee attack around his allies. When hit points are greater, disabled if hit points are greater than 50% base. So when you drop below that, that is happening. It's a constant effect. It doesn't say meters or if it's map wide, but I suspect it's map wide. Alright, so instead of plus 4 and 8, he now gives plus 6 and plus 12 melee attack and also unbreakable. Oh, excuse me, that skill is only for him. So that is why it doesn't say meters or if it's map wide, excuse me. So that is only for him, he becomes unbreakable. A mighty opponent, plus 10 melee attack and also causes terror. And the Great White Lizard, hit points plus 8% and the passive ability of regeneration. So he really is a very tanky lord, but that comes with 25% weakness to fire damage, as do all units that have regeneration. The Shield of Eons, it's an ability for that instantly affects targets in area. Sorry for that, was my phone. Duration 23 seconds, affects allies of in range of 40 meters, plus 60 armor, and provides expert charge defense. So that's the unique quest item that Goro-rok brings to the table. We got the Obedience Brings Victory, plus 50% aura size and plus 5 leadership effect. Missile resistance of 10% and magic resistance of 10% also. and Honored Elder +1, Public Order in all provinces, Ward Save +5%. If it doesn't say Lord's Army, that's only for him, just in case you're new and you don't know. If you see Lord's Army, that means the Lord's Army. If it doesn't have nothing, if it has nothing next to it, it's only for him. And upkeep -5% for sources and Cold One units, and also upkeep -5% for Temple Guard units. And let's check his stats. He's got 100 armor with Silver Shield, so 55% block chance, 80 leadership, 34 speed, 45 melee attack and 60 melee defense. Of course you can upgrade him beyond that. 450 weapon strength with 160 being standard one and 290 being armor piercing, and the charge bonus of 30. And I think that is all regarding skills and traits. Obviously that is not all, as I forgot to go through all of the skill trees over here. So yeah, we got the Rock of Itza, plus 44% physical resistance and plus 9% vigor when engaged in melee just for himself and for 24 seconds. Cold-blooded to the death, which can be upgraded. Immune to psychology, can hide, encourage, expert charge defense, resilience, 15% missile resistance and 15% physical resistance, which comes... no, that's unique actually. We don't have any campaign effect that actually does that. Alright, let's continue. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed, guys. If you want to see something more unique, I don't know, like tell me, what do you want to see exactly? That's you know, out of the normal, and I'll think about it. So I really hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification button. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.